Welcome back, guys, to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, where last episode, after pressing all of Gina Lestrade's testimony, we returned to press it again, finding a new reaction awaiting from Magnus McGildes. We learned that Fry's-fired Mason never boarded the carriage through the door, according to what she heard anyway, with Van Zieks using this to turn the jury against us, forcing Ryunosuke to make a play to stop the last flame entering the guilty fire. Using the noises heard by Gina, we instead came up with a theory that the victim entered the carriage through the skylight, inadvertently calling Mr. Furst and Mr. Fairplay liars in the process who may have committed the crime. We now press the testimony, refuting this accusation. In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
Hold it!
So you had never met Mr. Fry's-fired Mason before? Oh, no, not once, never. You never met the man before, you said it! Never! And you, Mr. Furst, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. As don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us had the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. Debtors, let's pursue Magnus.
Excuse me.
Mr. McGildes? Yes, counsel, what can I be doing for you? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay. It's been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date. I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Oh no, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another? And young Mr. Furst. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. But your customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers? Such as Fry's-fired Mason? There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence before, my lord. Oh my goodness. This you mean? I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? That's one of my hats. You shouldn't have said that. Aye, that it is. So it seemed the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGildes has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me get my little interruption held up the proceedings. Sure, okay, what, we're continuing after that? Oh, we're revealing stuff to the jury. But that's what it is, it's a jury system, so an appeal does work. Emotion. Skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly open it, the switch was on your side. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's gonna lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see? It's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is, of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand? Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture, shall we? Let's stop by an arcane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind. Loudly. I shot myself with it as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. Furst. Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see? But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried to try when I was inside that cabin of shame.
Right.
Yeah, from the inside. Someone's very happy about this and wanting to interject.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade! It opens. Huh? Skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All of them skylights open. Dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh! Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears. Mr. Lestrade, this is not the form to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight. I opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Surely we saw this. Bailiff! Climb upon the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Mr. Slidey. Ah! Oh, my hat! See? Order! 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 So, it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So, the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Do you think there's blood? Shh, go away, you. Oh, I've got to open it again. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now that catch has been undone, we should be able to open it. Okay, what am I examining here? I mean, we can clearly see that he would fall straight below. Well, we could look for the underside, I guess. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Ah, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. I've been in here a couple of times now. Ah, couldn't see from the top, but can see from the bottom. I was looking for a change of perspective. Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look, just here. Look at this. That's without question. It's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? The details of the omnibus have been updated. There is a bloodstain visible on the frame of the skylight when it is open. And now, blood couldn't have possibly gone upwards, unless like arterial spirit, I guess you could say. We've seen it from this. Oh, we could have seen it from this side. So things were in the way. I just chose a better perspective. Alright. Oh my goodness, and look at the statement. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? Literally just got it.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I'll tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel. My lord, I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proved the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. Let me do that, sir. Oh, wrong side. It's all a matter of perspective.
Got it!
By Jupiter! Is that blood? This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Order! Order! Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. I don't think you get that kind of spray from the stomach. It only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, that'd be very convenient. Let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. Furst? It is all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from the fair height, right there, so it is. What? No! But it can't be! It's all... lies!
Hold it!
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. On three, then. Everyone. 1, 2, 3. Really?
Objection!
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was expecting. A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referred to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? Why didn't you like my bloodstain? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What? What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But... are you suggesting Lord Van Zeeks that this stain of blood was... fabricated, my lord? Yes, while this court has been in session. What? What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor, your standing Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Lord Van Zeeks, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh no! I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood in the scarlet didn't exist, you say? But if yous will all be casting your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? I mean smoke bombs. It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. See, he knows I'm going to tell the truth. And he uses me against myself. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think... yes. Smoke bombs. Smoke covering everything. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh!
Good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
A deceit?
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result, the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What is going on? Careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless? Gouger? You're supposed to be defending me! This is a wicked plot! This is a plot to undermine me, so it is!
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies? Such as?
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning.
Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut.
Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Wait, is there? Now you got me really confused. Is there an obvious difference that I'm just unaware of here? I mean, imagine it had to be from the bottom. All the marking and notation of everything seems to be the same. I mean, this omnibus doesn't have flags on it. I'm a bit confused about what this is going on about. I don't see anything much different from what we started with, and I don't know if the flags that seem to be on it... Oh, no, the flags are in the background. Never mind. Okay. I'm assuming the Susato noticed that there is something obviously different. I have no clue as to what. So if Susato is noticing it, then I have to believe her. Which means it's probably a yes. I think visually there's no difference. Is it a different color or something? No, the coloration seems to be the same. Green trim, red, they all look the same there. I can't check if it's the same number of carriage. So... I'm gonna go with Susato on this and hope that she's right and that we can follow this to where it's going. It's only a penalty, right? My lord.
Yes, counsel.
There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you better start washing your back.
Objection!
I don't know what's going on.
Silence, McGilded.
The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. But I believe in my assistant. What am I supposed to believe here?
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel.
So there definitely is something, or we wouldn't have got this far.
Where exactly is the alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial?
Oh my goodness. So I mean, we're saying that appeared during the trial, but that's been brought up, so there's got to be something different here. No, can I back out? Wait. It's this, right? Because this matches this. So both of these reds are very, like, bright and alive, whereas this, of course, it would have had something more to soak into, I guess. But this looks like older, dried, like, slightly oxidized blood, which is darker. Like, these are newer. So it's the coloration. So the blood wasn't here before, it was here. So it's here? Well, I'm glad we got inside. Was this here at the start? I actually have no clue because the way the story moves forward and then makes you like, oh my god, it's this.
Got it.
If it's that, then it's this. We considered the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin. You would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Yeah, it really wasn't. Then all of a sudden you kind of like realize it by looking at the other bloodstain on the thingy. I don't know if you can go in... And this is like thingy time. Because you see the blood is there now on this carriage. Because you're going into the updated carriage. Man. You really had to keep track of what was going on, didn't you? But thankfully, it was the coloration that led me to goal. And, Susato, thank you. That's why you're an assistant. You have to help bungling me. This bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was fought, when it was first brought into the courtroom. I'm all flustered.
Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue.
I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake.
Ah! This trial is over.
Mr. McGilded.
I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it is all over now.
But you're the defendant.
It is over, I tell ye. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. It is all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there, now.
Well...
And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalised, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position?
It's gonna get thrown out.
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilder would be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Is this actually the closing statement, or just the precursor to even more? Yes, my lord. The defense believes... I mean, I don't know either way. To be honest, the completely true statement, the only completely true statement I can give is that the defendant could be guilty because we have not proven that he is innocent by any degree. So, if this thing here said the defendant could be innocent and wasn't a definitive, I would choose it because I'm a defense attorney. He could be innocent still, and it's the more positive one. But the only one that gives option of doubt is the defendant could be guilty. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence.
What are you saying, man?
Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent.
Good gracious me! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer, calling the accused innocence into question? Are you of sound mind?
Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah! Good job who's done, fella. Some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just as the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it for. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how do you put it now? Nothing more than a formality.
I really don't know what to make of all of this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
I thank you kindly, my lord.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth.
Lord Van Zeeks, my lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What?
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time?
'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Magnus McGilded.
Good grief. You've more to say to me, have you?
Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Well, something to be looking forward to then.
I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded.
More on the case of having it thrown out, a mistrial. Which is kind of cool. I like that. Though I don't like that too. I want to get to the bottom of it. We want to know the absolute truth. But this is a great ending. Can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. Cleared. Yes. I think the scale's pointing towards guilty. Are a thing. The courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. The defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly a victory for us. I really honestly think that's one of our best endings. Considering the lack of all the forensic stuff that you could do, there is ways to get out of things if you've got the money, the know-how, and the will. That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. Oh, thanks, Susato. You really helped me at the end. And to you, Miss Susato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Mr. McGilded. And that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What have you say, fella? How'd I walk out of there, free man, then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. Yeah, your planning that was exacerbated by the fact that, to speak outside of the game, I don't film it all in one day. It gets filmed over like a week or more. So therefore, it's just kind of like, yeah, I will forget things like there was no blood on the floor. Which worked really well for this. You're a straight talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. 'Tis war under the bridge. I'm glad he's a powerful man. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. It's grand, is it not? I suppose it is. None of the farm fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. I'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages for all the taxes I pay. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no. I couldn't possibly accept that much. Oh, let me whist. You're more people, are you? From the east? Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I was no inconvenience, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help wherever I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fairly well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes. A free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. No, bad. Stop it. Don't move. Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Mr. Stroud, would you mind putting that thing down? You're grown up. Sorry? And I hate all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Who? What? Hi. Naughty, naughty. Running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Excuse me, but, who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all? I just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing onto a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Oh, did she? Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now? Back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? Huh. I don't listen to no adults. Come along then. Follow me. Fine. Have it your way. Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours. Good day. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. Okay. She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right. But Where to? Oh, we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to the worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or a mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
Oh, this can't be.
It really is not over. What an end to a trial, to lead us on to more. A mistrial is a result too. A result that we can accept when it leads us to further adventure. So now our story arc within our cases gets underway. Not just our story arc with our characters and our growth there. We now have more than one thread to follow. So we save our current progress. We say goodbye to this great adventure, the one of the runaway room. And I will see you next time to start another one anew. Thank you for watching thus far. I'll see you guys for Case 4, for Adventure 4, next time. Bye-bye.